Hola, Colchoneros. As usual, today I have with me Saint Keeks, and I am here as well. Unfortunately, like with a sad face, because this month has been a very very bad month for us, and especially like a few couple of weeks because we lost against Real Madrid in the Champions League, and then we lost against Barcelona after leading the game 2-0 as well, and then that ended 4-2. And then after that, like this game, I think this should have been a turning point for us, but like again, like it's a draw, but like it feels like a loss for some reason. And also the fact that like how we conceded the goal as well. And now like we're just having like a, I think like March has been a very very bad month for us, and because like match after match that hasn't like just been disappointments. And now this might be like could be our season over, but again, like you never know. But like still, like our chances are pretty less as well. Talking about the match, I think it was a very very tight match, and I was expecting our players to perform much better because I thought like international break was like the perfect moment to get back into the groove because like Argentina are like because most of the players in our team are from Argentina. Argentina had like a good international matches. Norway with Charlotte and many other players they had a good international break, and the players like who didn't go for international duty as well, I think they had they got that rest as well with like the games were coming so fast, like every 3 days we used to have a match, and now like we had that break. So I really thought like we could have like take that momentum and do something in this match, and especially the 3 points because like these 3 points were very very important. Did we play like that? I don't think so. But again, like we were leading the match 1-0 as well with the Espanyol's first La Liga goal as well. But I'm out of words to be honest. Like how did we like manage to end that game with a 1-1? Especially the fact that Oblak literally had nothing to do with the whole game. It's just one mistake and we concede a goal. And if we have to be serious in the future, like we have to like play like champions with that mentality as well. In this match, I didn't really feel it that way. I think I won't really blame the Simeone as well. I think like, but again, like it's gonna come back to that one particular player, which again we'll talk about him in detail as well. But yeah, like I have so many mixed thoughts right now here and there. I'll let Saint Geeks take over from here. What do you think about the match?
I think you covered some of my points that I also felt, which was I had a lot of positive feelings after the international break, and I was hoping that an Espanyol would be a really nice bounce to start off a potential win streak or something, but that didn't turn out to be what we saw in the game. I think this isn't the worst game I've seen Atletico play this season. I think that would be a toss up between either the Getafe game or the Real Betis game at their home. I think those games were much worse, but it was a very flat game. We came out begun like as if it was just it didn't feel like anybody really tried to play today. I think there were a lot of people who it's hard to single out any one person, especially in that first half, as to why it was bad. I don't think the tactical reasons were it was bad, but it's like Lino didn't have a good game. Giuliano clearly didn't have a good game. He was also somewhat tired. He played around a little over 100 minutes for Argentina and just came back from a flight. Griezmann didn't have a good game. Solot, every time he starts, does seemingly just doesn't have the energy to really change anything, which I thought this would have been a great time to have Solot start where he would have, coming off those two goals and an assist in international week. And then you have,
Yeah, but like given to I think like we didn't like create enough chances for Charlotte to like pounce upon them because if you go like player, I mean like Giuliano, like I think Giuliano for me like was still decent. Like the player I was disappointed with was obviously Griezmann because he had that rest and like I'm not saying like he had a bad game, like he had a decent game, but I think like he should have like turned up even more because of the expectation we have from him as well. He's a world class. He's been a world class player for us. So, and literally all our creativity comes from that guy if Julian Alvarez is not playing. So, and even also because Rodrigo De Paul wasn't playing as well. Like, all our creativity was like onto the shoulders of Griezmann, and he didn't really create much, I would say. He was trying, but like, I would say, like, he wasn't really like, like on his best. That's what I felt like. But yeah, sorry, continue.
Um, I think yeah, but it's like sure to some degree. Yeah, we didn't really create as much chances in the first half, but it was. I think the Atletico at times this season have been relatively passive overall, right? So sometimes, especially in bigger games, we tend to sit back and allow teams to play, and then we hit them on the counter and these other things, right? Sometimes it works. For the most part, it has worked this season, I'd say. But other times, it kind of just leaves a bit lacking, right? Too many players, not too many. There's a few players who are key parts of the system functioning. If they don't perform, we can't perform. If Griezmann is not up to
Exactly.
stuff, we don't create chances. If De Paul isn't on the pitch or Koke, as it, the midfield will create chances because Barrios is doing too much responsibility as a 21-year-old, as is. You know, it 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 culminates into these moments where you're just like, man, I wish we had, like, I wish Lamar wasn't always injured so we could actually get something out of him. I wish we had somebody who could, you know, give Griezmann that little competitional oomph. Like Correa is not going to be here because Correa got a red card and it's just he's not going to be here for like 5 games. Um, it's like that game that we just played was a great game for Correa to come on, maybe change up the vibe, get a little extra goal after goal that what getting the equalized. But it's like I liked some of the game. I think Llorente played really well. I think Azpilicueta played really well. I'm really happy for him. His first goal in La Liga, which is surprising considering he came out in Osasuna such a long time ago. But you know, and his first goal was probably one of the best goals I've seen this
Right, yeah,
season.
exactly. That was a banger. That was a rocket.
But it's like a lot of times in games like this, because football is such a scoring sport, have these moments where like one moment can really change your tie, right? And
Exactly. Exactly.
for Chelsea, especially, a guy who either creates those moments or finishes those moments. And I think he's done these similar things as well. I think he's been really back was this season. Not so much going back, but I think that's because his body's a little past it. But he's been great for us, and it showed up on the day. I I still think Solot can do more because it's like if we don't feed him a ball, he's functionally not a player sometimes, and I don't really appreciate that because I think when you notice something isn't happening, you should be able to on the pitch, you should be able to think about something and then try and find your own solution. These solutions shouldn't have to come to you.
But yeah, like
And
it's not that kind of a striker. Like I think like with Sorlot, like again, I'm not saying like he had a bad game. For me, Sorlot like didn't have a bad game. Because like he was crucial because like he was there was times like where he was like winning the balls up in the air, which he should, given the fact that like he's so
right,
fucking tall. And there were moments like where he was like creating uh, movements, the run and behinds, but I think like we didn't really like find him enough. There was a point like there was in the first half. There was a moment like when Griezmann was trying to like cross the ball and like he like misjudged it. Like he put like a little wider towards Sorloth. I think like if that ball like was like spot on Sorloth's header, we could have like lead the game 2-0 easily.
sure,
But But I think again, like if you look at that game, like I don't really remember Juan Garcia making any saves as well.
It was one
Because
save around 5 or 10 minutes in against from a corner, and that was it really.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
I don't remember. Like so, it was such a cagey game. Again, back to the game, like we, back to that thing, like the point, like we didn't create enough chances, like for a striker to pass the ball. Like even like if you talk about the second half, like Julian Alvarez coming on,
Hmm.
like we didn't see that kind of impact as well from him. Like there was, I think
I
there was
I'm
one
not
more.
mad at any of the Argentine players playing how they did
Yeah,
because
I'm
of
not
the fact that it
like,
takes so
yeah,
long.
I'm not saying like they played bad. I'm just saying that like like this season,
Hmm.
what really helped us going forward was like the bench strength, like players coming off the
Right.
bench and scoring the winners. And past few games, it hasn't been that case. Even like this game, like they were decent. They weren't bad. Like they were decent, but again, like it wasn't really that much of a flair. I would say Riquelme came on decent. Molina, I mean, like I don't like why our fan base like hate him so much. For me, like he was pretty decent as well. And
That's
then
that I we should talk about that because I find it really weird how much people hate Molina because I think as a player, last season I can't defend that, right? He
yeah, I mean,
had
like yeah,
an
last season
okay
he was, but
first,
this
he had an
season, like
okay first half of the
yeah,
season and a really bad second half. But this season he's been more or
decent.
less really good. Like he can't really guarantee that he will play over Llorente, but when he's on form and when Llorente is both of them are on form is really a toss up of which one you want to play on the day. He
Exactly,
just came
true.
back
And like I
again.
still, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt. Like I still believe like his crossing ability is like, it's like pretty decent. Like on his day,
Hmm.
like for example, that goal against I forgot it was Getafe.
It was
When
Getafe, yeah.
Getafe, that was a pretty good delivery from Molina,
Hmm.
right on the money, and Sarlat hit it like 1-0. Like we won that game. So yeah, like the hit for Molina is like, I think like it shouldn't be there, but like I understand the frustration because like when you lose a match, like you're just looking for things, and like because like Molina came on, like he miscontrolled a few balls, and then like suddenly like, he came into the eyes of some people. But yeah, it's a whole different topic which we'll talk about in
Sure,
detail.
we'll get to
But
that topic another time. But I think in an ideal world, I think we both already more or less talked about it, which is the Argentine players should not have even had to play today. In an ideal world, we play this game, we get the Espanyol goal or whatever, and then we try and either get that second goal or we ride it out on that 1-0. I think our defense this season has been good enough that we could have rode it out on 1-0. They didn't really have that
true,
many
true,
They had that one chance in the second half, and then they
true.
got a penalty. So,
Exactly, that's it. Yeah, coming on that penalty now, coming on that, like what a stupid mistake. Like seriously, what a stupid mistake. Like they want the free kick. The player's taking the free kick. It doesn't even like, it's not even like such a good delivery of a ball. Like the player is
oh,
running like
Black
he has,
Hazard all the way. As soon as you see him hit the
exactly,
ball, it was like, oh,
exactly,
Black Hazard.
exactly. Like it's not like the player is like running towards the ball and like he has a scoring chance. Like he can impact in any way.
Hmm.
Nothing. There's literally nothing. I don't know, like what went into Longley's head. He grabbed his shirt, and then like obviously like nowadays like anyone would go down on that one. So that was a clear penalty of the day, which wasn't needed at all. Like what are you doing? Like such an important match, such so many stakes. Like we had, this match could have been like turned around for us, given the fact that we have to play Barcelona next as well.
Hmm.
We needed that we needed those 3 points. But again, like see, this is where I come in, like that champion mentality. Like do we really need, I mean, like I'm not like, for me Longley has been a decent player throughout the season,
Right.
but again, where it like really like it mattered, like
Hmm.
he wasn't there. Barcelona, PSG, Real Madrid, like now the mistakes are like just piling up, and like it's going to be
Yeah.
like that, like Witzel Savage kind of a thing, which was
I mean,
was last season as
I
well.
100% agree with you. because we've seen the good parts of Longley, right? We've seen it throughout the season. He's been really good past and these other things, but it feels like we're dealing with the exact same player that Hermoso was, where you would get these good, huge moments, and then it would come with these really low, bad moments, and it's just like I remember the euphoria I felt. I think it was 2, 3 seasons ago when Hermoso scored that bicycle kick last minute with 10 men to get us over Valencia. I mean, win 3-2, right? Amazing. I love it. The opposite feeling was a lot of different moments where Moso did bad things, and it's like I feel the same way with Longley, except with Moso, it was like a you almost have an acceptance because of how he is as a player in terms of personality on the pitch, right? Longley, it just kind of feels like I can't believe you've done this again in current form, right? Penalty
Exactly.
against Real Madrid, complete calamitous errors against Barcelona, and then another penalty after an international break again. So it's like in 3 games, he's given away 2 penalties and effectively caused 3 other goals. That's horrendous form. The Leganes game when they get that free header on the corner, who was supposed to be marking that player? Longley. When you look at like it's like he's a consistently at the scene of the crime, right? Normally, you want to have these players like Alvarez who are difference makers who can get you that extra point. And Longley, at times, it feels like he's the opposite version of it, where he's an active liability who will cause that moment where you will capitulate. He is that cascading error that destroys your tower of cards. That's who he is at times for a lot of players, and it's the reason why he hasn't been permanently signed since. Like he went to Aston Villa, didn't do much there. He went to Tottenham, didn't do much. Like he had good moments, same as here, and then falls off every time.
Yeah,
Same with
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Like I'm like since you
Go ahead, go
mentioned
ahead.
the teams, like it can be good enough. Like if you're not really like competing for titles, like fine. Like you just choke around here and there, and then it's fine. Like you have a good game or two, and then you just move on, and nobody really remembers. But like as our club is growing, like we're growing like towards like closing that gap between Real and Barca, and what we're missing is the trophies, and we do have the players to get the trophies, but then like if you sign like players like this, like who doesn't really have that kind of a mentality, like that hunger, it's really difficult because then like you're letting down your own players as well, and it's just gonna like keep going on this way. And for us fans, it's way more frustrating because it's not like, let's say, like fine, like Espanyol was dominating the game, they were thrashing us, we were losing 2-3-0, like fine, like I'll take it. But no, the game was very tight. There was like literally both the teams couldn't get much chances. We
Hmm.
scored a great goal, and we really had them, we really had them perfectly. They weren't creating any chances. Our defense was pretty solid, and then suddenly you do this stupid mistake to let your whole team down, which like it's really frustrating, and like it has been happening for the past few matches, like which we'll discuss as things go on.
Hmm.
But yeah, moving on, like I think like for me, like Longley shouldn't start against Barcelona for sure.
I think that's a reasonable take.
Yeah, and like Lenormand is, thank God, like he's okay. And then we can play Lenormand and Jimenez. But I don't know, like for me, like he is not that kind of a player, like which can take us from here to here. Instead, like he's taking us from here to here. Like you
Hmm.
get my point. So yeah, that's been the
This
scene with Longley.
I know. In the previous video I talked about Longley on some of I felt like it was that time to sign him, but it's just like it's so fast that everything capitulates again, and it's like I really wanted at the start of last summer, I really wanted us to replace Amoso and get somebody who was more stable as a defender, right? We needed a good defender. Lenormand has been good. He's replaced effectively Savage. I don't mind Lenormand. It's a shame that his season has been like filled with injuries that he really couldn't control. But he's been good this season. Jimenez, first season that he's had this amount of injury, like almost no injuries
Exactly,
actually. Yeah.
exactly. Without injuries, actually.
And then we just need another piece because Renildo. is being used both as a left back, sometimes a wing back, sometimes as a centre back. And when he plays, he's great. He doesn't have that offensive capability, and he's not as good of a passer. So I wanted somebody who could be that, that number one left centre back. And we left it to the last part of the summer window, and then we got one of the ones I really didn't want. And I appreciate what he has done for us this season, and I thank him for his service. But I'd like you to see another club at the end of the season, and I would prefer it if he wasn't at
That
Atletico.
that's like coming back to the thing. Like, you can play against, like, let's say, like, mid-table teams. Like, let's say we can play against even like Espanyol. Like, we could have played him, but again, like, he costed us in this game itself. Like, we can't really imagine against Real Madrid, Barcelona, and whatnot. But anyway, I think like this is a topic which we'll discuss in detail. Like, when we'll talk about like all our signings in the summer, which
Yep.
would be like much later on. But
Mhm.
anyway, moving on to the next topic, which is, unfortunately, like, I have to say this, that we are kind of like out of the La Liga title race as well. We only have one competition to play, that is Copa del Rey,
Mhm.
and it's really frustrating because, like, we performed really well, but again, like, individual mistakes really costed us. Like, I wouldn't say like we played bad or whatever. Like, no, I think it was those individual mistakes which really costed us. And now, like, we're little 9 points behind Barcelona. Today they won against Girona. We're behind 6 points from Real Madrid. And like, I don't see this, like, 9 games to go. I don't see Barcelona dropping 9 points. I don't see them. Real Madrid, I think they can drop points here and there, especially that El Clasico game. But I think like it's much of a, it's much of a two-horse race right now, and we out of the La Liga title race. Like, we don't really have much to play for, to be honest. Like, in La Liga, I think like even like this was like I said, like, this was a much important game for us. We should have played it that way, and we kind of did, given the fact that like our main players went on international break. But again, what do you think about this?
Um, I think I agree. I didn't feel particularly comfortable. I think I know when we talked in the previous video with the boss with Bossa Boy, we were saying win, lose or draw, this didn't define the title race. But after the game was finished and the fact that we lost 4-2, it felt more of a, oh, okay, this is a definitive loss. Because if we lost a 2-1, it was like a rough. But it's like the way that we lost, it was a full capitulation, and that can destroy a team's mentality, and it did, as we saw today.
And
And
it was back to back as well. Like, Real
right,
Madrid.
so it's like right after the Real Madrid game, so we performed
Exactly.
really well, and we capitulated again in the league for the first time. What feels like in the season, where it's like I don't remember before that small 2 week period of time where Atletico really just let a late goal come in and ruin the result. Every time it was us scoring that late goal and getting either a draw or a win or something to get us across the line. So it's changed the mood of the season. I think we just have to focus on maintaining top four, maybe try and push for top two, but realistically just top four and hopefully top like third at minimum. So
That's right. Like, or like Bilbao is like right like behind us, to be honest. Like, they're like
right,
what, two
Villarreal
points,
too.
2 points behind us. They're pretty close. Now every match counts if we have to make top four. And
Hmm.
again, I think we can catch Real Madrid because I think they will lose against Barcelona. I have this feeling. I think the La Liga title would be decided that day itself, in the El Clasico itself, because I think they will win against Real Madrid.
Hmm.
And besides, I don't see Real Madrid dropping points. Maybe they'll draw a few games, so maybe we can have a shot at the second place. Maybe, but again, moving on to like our recent form as well. Like, again, like, since we're talking about like it all, like, since the month has like finished, we only have 3 wins in our last 10 matches, which is like,
It's
I'm
really
like,
really poor.
exactly, like, we're coming from a 15 win streak, and now we have like 3 wins the last 10 matches. Like, and it's not even like we didn't deserve to like win any of those games. Like we played really really good, and if you look at like last few matches, like you look Real Madrid, we were like doing pretty well. We almost if we could have like find that second goal, and there were so many chances where we could have,
Hmm.
we let that away. Gone. Barcelona, we took 2-0 lead. We blew it away. We lost 4-2 instead. Then we moved to Getafe. We were winning 1-0 very comfortably. Korea comes in, red card. We lost the game 2-1. Again,
On his birthday too.
on his birthday as well. Again, from a winning position to losing the game. Again, Barcelona, winning position, losing the game. Celta Vigo took the red card in just 5 minutes. I mean, like, we were just lucky to get a draw in that game.
Yeah.
And, like, I can, like, go on and on about this one. Espanyol, again, took the lead, gave it away. Like, the bad time is just not ending, to be honest. And
Hmm.
this year, 2025, like if not just 2025, I think like the second half of the season we haven't really performed good, I would say, because like we've been very very poor. There were like individual mistakes costing us here and there,
Hmm.
and like this time like we're just like looking for anyone to like to step up and like somehow like turn that, like get over that mistake and like take us through the finish line. And but unfortunately, like with the games going on, national break and the Champions League, like every game after every 3 days, it's really really hard to continue that momentum, like for like any Julian Vargas to step up or anyone, because like they're running out of energy. And then again, like we shouldn't be relying on just one player. We should be playing like a team. And
Hmm.
if it was like a collective effort without those individual mistakes, I think we would have been like comfortably right now in the La Liga title race as well. Hopefully, maybe in the Champions League as well. Maybe I think so. Maybe, but that was just pure bad luck, to be honest. But yeah, just leave it right in there only. But against Barcelona again, we're gonna go back to wrongly itself. Like 2 goals where should have been cleared away easily. But anyway, coming back to you, Ashley, what do you think about this one? Like form and going towards the match against Barcelona as well.
I think I think every time that we've challenged for the league or we've looked, I think maybe throughout these seasons in between since we've won the league, um, there's these periods of time where we have kind of difficulty, and it basically comes down to our squad to get more that the starting 11 can't, right? And in the 2020-21 season, we we got that extra oomph after Trippier was out with Carrasco getting a ridiculous amount of goals and assists when Suarez was a little past, like taking his little cool drought, and then he came back and scored against Osasuna. It's like Llorente is like, oh, okay, I'll just take another step up for the team. It's like these small moments like add up in these things where you want more from your team. Some of these players will shine, and it's like it's the harder times that you want not necessarily your best players, but sometimes your squad players. And I think this season has been unfortunate because I think Simeone has rotated really well this season. You see that by the amount of injuries that we've had, which is near non-existent. Um, and I really wanted to see. I thought Lino would have followed up on his really good form, and it really didn't follow up in a way that I wanted it to. It lasted a shorter period of time than I wanted. I thought
Yeah, like
Korea would have also done the
exactly.
same. I thought a
Yeah, we
few
need
other
more like
players.
upgrade. Yeah, we need like more an upgrade from both actually Kelvin and Lino. Like we wanted like an upgrade. I mean, like again, like we didn't mention Gallagher actually. Gallagher has been
Calico was great recently.
great. Exactly, Gallagher was great. Like the past few games, he's been great for us.
Hmm.
But yeah, again, like he has to play in that left position because we don't really have a good left midfielder player. Lino used to be last season. Riquelme used to step up last season, but this season it hasn't been that case.
Riquelme
And
was okay
again, like
last season, and we thought that maybe he'll get better this season, and it didn't work out like that. But I didn't have huge expectations with Riquelme. I did with Lino. So it's like if we do get Baena next season, let me not jump the gun, but if we do get Baena, I wanted to see something like that Lino Baena situation. So it's like one game you would want to have a winger, another game you'd want to have a midfielder. And we same thing with Gallagher on the right because I want to see with Giuliano can't start all the games. He's a little too young for that.
true,
I
true.
think.
I think like Gallagher like playing in his position like he's a different player. Like we saw this against Espanyol. Like this guy
Yeah.
was this guy was pressing. This guy was giving it. Like I think like he's the only player that really like stepped up in this match. This is what I
Yeah.
feel.
Him and Barrios were standouts. Well, him, Barrios, and Azpilicueta, I'd say, were like the standouts. Hey, you did really well today. I really
Yeah,
appreciated what you did.
I forgot to mention Gallagher, obviously, unsung hero for this match.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, yeah, continue.
No, I think that's all. I think it's a shame as to where we are in the season, knowing what Simeone got out of the squad. But I think that is all she wrote in terms of La Liga. It's all she wrote in terms of Champions League. Even though I think that Champions League situation was very dubious how it ended up, but we can only really blame ourselves because when you take the control out of yourselves, because we could have scored that second goal, could have got it before the 19 minutes even,
True, 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 true.
and it didn't happen and it didn't manifest, and now here we are. We our only chance is Copa del Rey, and well, we'll talk about that a later time. You know.
True, true. We'll do the preview of the game. Hopefully on Tuesday, just before the match, or maybe we'll fix up. We'll let you know, guys. And anyway, hopefully that match against Barcelona can like again like bring that joy out of us, bring
Hmm.
us out of this misery which is going on with the club right now. And but again, like like this is what you get to be honest. Like being an Atletico Madrid fan, your life is not easy. Simple as that. And simple way to put it. And we don't lose. I think like the love for this club is different, and like we always like love our club with that all that passion that makes us really different from other fans as well,
Hmm.
because like we are so glued to the team. And so pretty much that's it for today, guys. And I hope uh, you guys can join us in this conversation as well. You guys can leave comments on the comment box and like and subscribe as usual. And thank you for watching us. See you guys pretty soon as well. Thank you, everyone. Opus Lipi.